And we're back. Men's mental. أهلا بتيمون، أهلا بفارس وفدا. Thank you. Men's mental health. Pen. All right, so let's do this. Sorry guys, but we had a problem in the connection. So now we're just setting things up again. Ziad, hi. Yalla ya Nitin. So tonight guys, we'll be talking about men's mental health. And يا حبيبي انت اللي بريتي، يا حياتي انت، ما في لك هديك الكلمة على الهوا. So tonight we'll be talking, I'm so sorry, I'm just trying to fix my tripod. There you go. About men's mental health for this time, because it's no secret that it's a bigger stigma for men to be able to feel safe to share anything related to their feelings and emotions and there you go, and struggles. So tonight I'm having this conversation and discussion with Nitin and to speak about his experience on mental health and how he there you go, he's here. Come on Nitin, let's do this baby. Yeah, لا مش هنا. So meanwhile, I'm so happy that we have a lot of men tonight joining the session. If you have any questions, any comments, any stories you'd like to share with us related to mental health, please do not hesitate. If you wish to keep things private, you could DM me and I could just go and share whatever you want us to share under an anonymous name. So waiting for Nitin, please, let's make it happen. Yes! Hey!
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام، أهلا.
أهلا، شو أخبارك؟
أهلا. Hey!
كيفك؟ تمام.
كيفك؟ I'm a woman. كيفك?
So
yes.
here's where you messed up. You wrote India time 9:30.
Yeah, you said that, no?
No, it's 9 o'clock now.
Oh, you said it's going to be 9:30.
You said it's going to be 9:30.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh,
well,
yeah. Good to see you.
I'm good. Good to see you. It's been like I don't know, a year.
It's been
when was
no, not a year, but yeah, I met you in Jan.
Wow. Oof, yes, in Jan. So
but it feels wallah, it feels like it is wallah too long.
Yes, true. So how are things?
Things are very good. I'm very proud of you. Your this new path that you're on is very, very good.
Thank you.
Good.
Yay.
I think we spoke about this on our drive back from Outlet Mall.
Yes, doing shopping.
I miss Outlet Mall, man. Can you go to Outlet Mall and just buy something for yourself so I can be happy?
Yes, I can. And I'll share with you the.
Yeah.
I'll live stream it for you.
Yes. Oh my God, you're so good. How's everything? Good.
It's good, but I'm still working from home. Very limited outgoings because I don't know. It's like I have always been the person who enjoys sitting at home, and I only go out when I really, really feel like it,
right.
Or maybe for a jog or a run. So with this pandemic, it's kind of felt more comfortable for me to stay in my bubble at home. You know, I could work from home, I could socialize from home, I could do sports at home. So why not stay here? So this is me now.
I was speaking to one of my friends today. Unfortunately, he has to close down his restaurants because of what is happening. And he was telling me that now going out is going to be scary. You know, people have got used to staying inside. So now they don't know how they're going to feel about going out. You know, how do you manage? How do
it's
you
not only
behave?
that, it's because of, I also have social anxiety. So if
Yes.
I'm not really comfortable in the space that I am in, I cannot be wearing a mask and anxious at the same time. So I'd rather
Oh,
stay home.
it's the
I
worst. It's
can,
the
I really
worst.
can. So yeah. So speaking of anxiety, this week is all about men's mental health. So
Yes.
and I'm dedicating the rest of this month to basically raise more awareness on that topic,
Thank you.
because mental health is already a big stigma, which, alhamdulillah, thank God, people are more aware of how important it is. But when it comes to men, it's a bigger stigma over
Yes.
there. And
Yes.
we are still belittling men's emotions, not
Yeah.
because we are bad people, because we don't know how important that is, and we are raised on that way.
Yeah.
So, what is your, because I know that you have a lot of experience in that area, and you have yani, successfully and brilliantly changed your life when it came to that matter on mental
Trying.
health.
Yeah.
So, the platform is yours, my love.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so amazed at this new you. I'm just hearing you talk. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that you have found your peace. Don't cry
You
now.
did.
I will slap you.
No, yeah, so was I. I miss you so
I can see your. Uh,
much.
but I'm glad. I'm glad. It's beautiful to see somebody find their path. Somebody find a band-aid to the pain. Uh, so, so when it comes to mental health, I absolutely agree. Unfortunately, it is a very big stigma for boys before they become men. There is a certain, and I think it's the same, unfortunately, in every part of the world. In India, in the Middle East, in America, there's a certain way that male children are supposed to behave. There are certain things that you say, like don't cry like a girl, you run like a girl. Uh, oh, why do you write like a girl? These are very, very wrong stigmas that parents and elders, I call them elders, uh, do without realizing the damage they will cause. Because not only does it make the person become an introvert when it comes to feelings, uh, it makes him confused about how to deal with women, how to deal with emotions. Many of us are blessed, and today I say this, we are blessed to have so many emotions. I'm very blessed. I can say this now because before it was trouble for me, that I could feel so much. I used to wonder, like I remember when I was growing up, I used to think, am I gay? Like I don't, and the thing is, I didn't like boys, but I was like, something is so wrong with me that I feel like this. I have so many emotions which are not manly, as they used to say, but I don't like boys. So I used to
What
believe,
are those emotions that are you
yeah,
saying about?
uh,
Empathy, compassion,
yeah,
kindness?
empathy, compassion, just being able to behave yourself, even at that age, to be mindful about this will hurt the person, should not say this, should not do ragging, should not bully people, should
Yeah.
not. So I had all this, and I was always away from the boys who were bullying people, calling girls names, saying things which were inappropriate. I have also done it in the past. Today, I was just doing a live with somebody about cyberbullying, and I admitted that when I was young, I have done very wrong things, inappropriate things. But the idea is not what you have done. The idea is what you do once you realize that it's wrong.
From this moment forward, yes, exactly.
Everybody, I promise you, everybody, I will stand up and I'll clearly say, I'm not a saint. I've hurt so many people in my life, knowingly and unknowingly. But now that I know that, this is how much pain it causes, I'm never doing it again. Uh, I'm very mindful about other people's feelings. There's a difference between being careful and being mindful.
Mindful, yes, of course.
No matter how careful you are, you will fall. But if you're mindful, you will know what to do after you fall, how to behave. So
But thinking
unfortunately,
of
sorry.
hurting people is really bad. And when you are more mindful, it really helps in the way you communicate your emotions and you communicate what
Yes,
you are trying to say.
yes.
But what about hurting yourself?
Unfortunately, that funny enough, I was just speaking to my wife 15 minutes back about the same thing. That how do we stop hurting ourselves? Like, what
Yeah.
is it?
How can
Also,
we stop the self-sabotage?
yeah, because also what happens is we are around so many people who say so many things that you really get confused. Like, when you go to the gym, you see a poster saying no pain, no gain. Okay?
Exactly. This is one of the limiting beliefs that we need to unblock.
Yes, that we don't need to experience pain. We can
True.
understand it, but when you say no pain, no gain, this does not mean for somebody like me who's got a shoulder injury. For me, pain is not gain. My shoulder is going to
True.
get screwed. So this generalization that people have created, that you have to go through this, you have to hurt yourself, you have to you have to hustle. You
Exactly.
know,
I spoke about that. Is like stop the hustle culture, because no, I don't have to work like 10 to 15
correct,
hours. Be
correct,
productive. Nitin, ever since I stopped being a 9 to 5 person and I'm doing this
correct.
now, sometimes I work like for 5 hours. Whoops. So I worked for like 5 hours, but like really, I put all my heart and
Correct.
mind to it. And I spend
Correct.
the rest of the day taking care of myself, my hobbies, my needs, my
Yes.
friends. And that's how I learned that, okay, so it's not working anymore. And that's how I learned that it's not the hustles. So there are so many limiting beliefs that are stopping us from moving forward, like no pain, no gain.
Yes.
Money is evil.
Yeah.
Hustle until
You become.
you I don't know.
See,
So
there are two kinds of hustle that happen. One is which is physical, which people can see. One is internal. So the problem is the world we live in. If the hustle is not shown, you don't realize that it's there. Internally, for people who suffer from unfortunately depression, their
mhm.
struggle is inside, the hustle is inside. I recently posted something, a video, where I said that the problem with people who suffer from depression and anxiety is that the world outside does not match the world inside.
They're not aligned.
They're
Exactly.
not.
So it's very important that they have their support system,
Yes.
and not any support system, because also people need to realize that not when you're helping people, you're not helping them with how you want to help, how
Yes.
they need the help, because it's really different. So this is why I'm so sorry. I'm trying to put it
That's
stand,
okay. We
but
can hold on. Now it looks like there's an earthquake happening there. It's okay.
I'm gonna stay here. So this is where I would like you to share some tips, like how can we help men? Because you do know that there is a difference between a
Yes.
man's and a woman's depression, whether it was emotionally or socially or physically or even hormonically,
Yeah.
hormones wise. We have different hormones, and this is
Correct.
not something that we can control. So when you want to support a woman, you could just go to her and tell her, listen, I'm here if you want to talk. And at the end of the day, she will come to me to talk. But a
Yes.
man, if I want to go to a man and tell him, hey, listen, you know that I am here and you can talk to me about everything, he won't, even if he
Khalas, it's okay.
wanted.
It's okay. It's fine.
It's okay, let it go. I'm fine. I know how to handle it. So how can we change that, and how we can literally help a man when he is depressed or anxious or stressed?
Okay.
What is the
So
right approach?
So I think for a man, I've come up with this solution. It's not an advice, it's a suggestion. It worked with me. Firstly,
Okay.
I want to clarify that depression and anxiety have no gender. It doesn't belong to any gender. Okay, it
Yes,
can
of
happen.
course.
It can happen to a child. Also, it can
That's
happen
right.
to a teenager. What I do is many a times when I was suffering through depression, um, I found it very difficult to, as a man, to find the answer inside me, find the will. Forget the answer, even find the will to call up a therapist. Uh, because there are certain upbringings, there are certain things as a man that stop you. You know, that a man is always okay. You know, when you say things like he's the man of the house,
The man of the house, he's the
you know,
provider.
unfortunately, we are put on a pedestal that we have not asked for. You know, we are, it's like, you know, it's like, it's a very stupid thing to say, but it makes a lot of sense for me. It's like,
It's not.
you know, certain people are put in a place. So, example, if I put a small child on top of the mountain, okay, he's on the top of a mountain, but he will still pee on you because he's a child. You understand what I'm saying, right? He will not have the sense. So don't visualize that. It's a
I
small
know.
mountain.
Ah,
But
yes.
but you know what I'm trying to say is that some people are, unfortunately, when it comes to this emotions, men are put on a pedestal that men cannot feel this thing. You can't feel pain. You have to support your family. You have to do this,
Yeah.
do that. So it is very, very difficult for us to sort of even go to men and say, like, I now am the most emotional, most vulnerable man you will ever meet, and I'm proud of it. It took
I
me a
love your
lot.
purpose.
It
I
took me
know.
a lot to be proud of it, because for most of my life, I used to hide it, saying, no, no, you know, my friends will say, oh, you're literally, sorry to use the word, oh, you're a pussy. Oh, why you being such a girl? Like, you know, like to tell a,
But that's the culture that we need to change. That's the
yes,
culture that we need to change. To
uh,
stop naming emotions or situations or any case that we go through emotionally as something bad. If a
yes,
man wants to cry, let him cry. I remember once a friend of mine lost his dad, and
yeah,
he was not allowed to cry in the funeral because he's a man. And I was like, what?
that's,
No.
I feel so bad, and this is why I always say women are superior, because women are allowed to show emotions. Anybody who is allowed to show emotions, it's really, I really, you know, and this is why they're superior, because they are able to understand both. You know, they are able to understand strength and emotions at the same time. You know, so what I do, to suggest what I do is, I could not find the will to get better. But I made it a point, and I think I told you this as well. I made it a point. I told myself one day that, Nitin, you cannot let your wife, my wife Aarti, I told myself, you cannot let Aarti live with a depressed man. You can't. If you love her, you will get better. And I don't
That's
know
when
if,
I want to trust you. It's good that it worked with you, but for me, it should be you can't. If you love Nitin, let him get out of the depression. So you need to love yourself
no,
enough.
no, understandable. But you know, we're talking about as a man, not talking as a woman. The man's ego, a man's ego is
Okay,
always to a point where a man will do anything for his woman,
okay,
right?
that's a good point.
A man will risk his life for a woman. At the same time, he will smoke 20 cigarettes for his own health. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, so the unfortunate, the ego that a man has, there's a way. Ego is a beautiful thing if you know how to use it. It's tricky. If you use it correctly, it can really help you in life. So as a man, when if you tell any man right now, tell any man, listen, can you stop smoking? They'll say, forget it, man. What, stop smoking? His wife or his daughter comes and tells that, stop smoking for me. What do you think he will do?
He will do his best to stop.
That's, so there is a way. That's why I tell people that, you know, as a man, you also, if you can't find it inside, and I'm telling you, it's sometimes very difficult to find it inside you to get up. But when you have somebody to get up for, it works. It works. I'm telling you, it was, alhamdulillah, It was a miracle. It was a miracle that the next day I woke up and I said, okay, you know what? Strength. I got to do this. And the point is, I'm better. I'm so much better. I'm so much better. I can give motivation talks now, and for me to be able to have a clear thought. Unfortunately, what happens is when you start getting better, you also start realizing all the bad things you have been taught. And you also start realizing that shit, how much have you been screwed over by the people to become this person. But you can't go back to that. So only thing you have to do is, understand that.
Learn.
Sorry?
You learn.
Yeah, you learn. You learn. And then you teach. Because when you teach, you learn twice. I always tell people that you share. Share whatever you're going through. You think you're giving, but you will take and go. And that.
There's someone that sent a message, Umayma. She said, my father stopped smoking for us. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And believe me, your father, Umayma, your father on his own found it very hard to do it. But again, all the men here, at least, or even women, the idea is that he should get better. Whether he does it for you, himself, the cat, or the guy who sells shawarma, it does not matter. Idea is that external feeling for a man is very, very good. And it works with most of the men.
So basically, the first step for a man is to find this tick or this motivator for him to start his healing journey or start at least his therapy. And this motivator, most of the time, is a woman. So it could be a mother, a sister, a wife, a friend.
I didn't say it's a woman, but somebody you love dearly.
Somebody you love. Okay, somebody you love dearly.
So
and then what?
If you remember, so first, of course, you need to acknowledge it. The first thing is acknowledgement. You have to understand, I looked at myself in the mirror and I told myself, you are screwed. I didn't say that. I said the other word, but I said, Nitin, you are in big trouble. You are in big trouble. Open your eyes. See what's going on. You are suffering from it. You have been suffering from it. You didn't even realize. I didn't even realize I had depression. I thought it was just lethargy and sitting in the house watching Netflix or YouTube for 8 hours non-stop, not getting up, not going anywhere, not feeling like doing anything, skipping meals, having thoughts. I unfortunately did also have suicidal thoughts. But I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm blessed that because of what I do, comedy, the love and gratification is visible. Like all I have to do is if I feel down, I have to go and just type my name and I can see good things about me. So maybe I was blessed. I was really blessed to go through that, and that saved me. So first part is acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge.
Ask you something. After you acknowledge that you are depressed and that you should do something, from a man's perspective, do you want to be left alone for you to handle it, or you'd like some help?
Ideally, it's from case to case. You have to. It depends on the level of depression you are suffering from, the level of anxiety. Many a times, you have to be there for that person, right? See, because if you force, and there are cases where you force somebody and that works. You tell them no.
That's the second question. Don't you think that some cases they have to be forced to get?
Yes. So that's what I was telling on my last video. I told people that I know your intention is correct. I know your intention is absolutely good, but you need, if you really want to help somebody, get them to a therapist. You will have very good intentions. Don't get me wrong. Your intentions are beautiful and God is watching. You have the best intention, but you might say something which might not be right and it will make it worse. And a couple of things that we say without realizing. Don't worry. It's normal. It's okay.
And it's okay. It happens to everyone.
Yeah. Shall we order a pizza?
Yeah.
Yalla, let's go to Bangkok. Uh,
Important to understand it before you can acknowledge it, because as you say, Nathan, many people don't even know what is it that they're going through.
Correct,
Absolutely.
correct. Which
Oh,
is which is
sure.
why I say uh, only person who can help you understand it, Amber, is a professional. You
Yeah,
know what I
true.
mean? Because I had I suffer from dyslexia, right? I found out I suffer from dyslexia perfectly 4 years back or 3 years back. I am 41 now. And you know, the thing is, everything in my life, it made sense because I realized, and a therapist helped me because I realized that I'm not dumb. You know, when I was in school, I was not a good student. I didn't understand things. And because I didn't know what was going on, people said, "You're dumb." I said, "Yes, I'm dumb." Because it was easier for me to accept that than to understand. Because I was like, what is going on? Like, why do these numbers, they jump up? Why can I not read one line? Like, I will read one line, I'll blink and I'm here. You know, I used to read with a scale, with a ruler, you know, like a scale, you know, and people used to make fun of me. Like, this guy is in, like, almost going to college, but he's reading with like a piece of wood and one line. And that also stopped me because it used to be very embarrassing. So a therapist helped me understand that, Nitin, it's important to know who you are. It's okay not to understand the problem, but at least know there is a problem. That,
Absolutely.
you know, like if you feel a
Because
headache.
when you know who you are, you could also help people know who you are, or at
Correct,
least how can they help you. Like
correct.
for me, to be very honest, I stopped sharing my problems with my friends
Yeah,
or my worries from my friends. Only if I'm looking for someone to listen, it's fine. But if I'm looking for a solution, I would go for my coach. I would go
correct,
for my coach. Listen, can you
correct,
guide me?
correct. So
That's how I started doing that.
so as a man, thank you. One of my very good friends, Usman Mukhtar, brilliant, beautiful, amazing guy from Pakistan. Do you remember that movie? Do you remember that movie I showed you where I'm a zombie?
Me?
Yeah, I'm a zombie in the movie. Did you remember that movie I
Oh
showed
yes,
you?
yes, yes, yes.
That's directed by Usman Mukhtar who hai.
Oh, hats off. I'm
He's an
so
amazing guy, man. I can't wait to work with this guy again.
nice. People are
So
scared to talk about it because what? Okay, you
log
need to
kya kahenge?
translate.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So this, I think, happens in every part of the world, and it happens with you in Arabic and Lebanese also. Log kya kahenge is what will people talk about you.
Oh, yes,
You
yes.
know, so I want. Yeah, go ahead.
No, this should stop. That's it. I'm just what my okay, the aim of this is to let people know that it doesn't matter what people think of you, because at the end of the day you are the person sleeping on the pillow with heavy thoughts and heavy feelings, and if you do not help yourself, believe me, no one will help you.
Yes,
That's one. And two, when you ask for help, believe me, you will be surprised to see how many people will be willing to give
yes,
you your hand and help
yes,
you. So
absolutely.
ask and you shall receive. Do not be ashamed. Do not be scared. Believe me, Nathan, if you knew that you were dyslexic at
Yeah,
school and you asked
yes.
for help, believe me, you wouldn't have been mocked and you wouldn't have been being laughed at. And even when people do that, it would only maybe shrink from 10 people to 2 people. And those 2 people, at the end of the day, they will know that, oh my God, we should have been more supportive. It's
Habibti,
only
you
about
won't
awareness.
believe. Sorry, you won't
Sure.
believe. I have suffered from anxiety attacks all my life. And I didn't even know they're anxiety attacks. You know what I used to do? I used to drink cold water and eat ice because I thought it was some problem I had. And I used to drink water, cold water, and eat ice. And in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe this is how it gets better. Now, when I was in Dubai, when I went for this therapy with this lady, And I think we're quite open about things, so I will also share how therapy helps. So what therapy does is it points out the problem, the exact problem,
No
not
problem.
not so they will
Not
not
what
tell
we
you.
think it is.
Yes,
Definitely.
they will not. Therapy tells you that, listen, you have a migraine, it's not a headache.
Mm.
It's a difference. It's not, you can't take, if you're suffering from cancer, you cannot take Panadols. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people,
Yeah.
because they don't understand, and this comes from a very, very, I had gone for a career fest and I spoke about this. And there was a lady, old lady, who came up to me and she said something to me in Hindi. I'll say it in Hindi and I'll translate to you. She said, ये depression, आप हमारे टाइम में नहीं था, आपके टाइम में ये ट्रेंड है. So what she said is that there's all this depression and mental health. We never had it in our times. This is new. We never had it. We never had depression. It's a new disease you guys have created. And I told her, you have exactly hit the nail on the spot, because that is the exact mentality that is wrong. That even back in the day, that's the problem, babe, because you can't even blame them, because their parents taught them and their parents taught them that if a child doesn't study, hit him, give him two give
Yeah.
him two slaps, and he will come to
And you
senses.
know what it is. Yeah.
If he doesn't eat, slap him. If he doesn't listen to you.
Because they used to think, which is very sad, that fear creates discipline and
Correct.
discipline creates good manners. No, fear creates a lot of mental health issues 20 years from now.
Correct.
So,
I was speaking to a guy who brought something up to me. He is a 35-year-old boy, man. Okay. He says, till date, if I look under my bed, I suffocate. He's like, I've almost died because I once was looking for something. I got an anxiety attack because all his life his parents used to tell him, if you don't do this, there's a ghost under your bed and he will come and
oh,
get you.
yeah, Lebanon too.
And the thing is, I know from now onwards, uh, I will know how to treat the children. I will know how to behave with my child. There's a positive also, that because we look at them, we know what we don't want to be. Like,
100%.
tomorrow, you will understand your child. You will not put him in the same box as everybody and say, okay, oh, give him two slaps, he will become genius. Oh, give him hit him once with the belt, he will become stronger. You'll understand that maybe the child does not need a belt, he just needs to be looked at and spoken to. So the problem is, back in the day, they had one formula. Whether it's
True.
your child, whether it's your to-be daughter-in-law, there are so many traditions that we follow which don't make sense.
I know. I
You know,
know.
and I'm telling you, your parents, my parents, if you ask them, they're like, that's how it is.
I don't know. We got
Yeah,
it from
that's
our parents.
exactly. So my thing is that some idiot.
Lack of awareness or
Yes,
laziness or denial, or what is it exactly? Because
it
some
is.
people are defending those
Yes,
traditions.
no. The thing is, you defend traditions if they work for you. Okay, absolutely. Any habit that works for you, defend it. But it's not working. There's so many people who are coming out and saying, I'll give you a small example, um, which I've made peace with now. Uh, my dad uh, has has hit me with a belt in the middle of a market, and he's not hit me. He's hit me all the way home, where I had people laughing at me while it happens. And I didn't realize what that did to me until I went to the therapist and she took it out from me, saying, you were scared for so many years and you became so quiet is because you always thought people were laughing at you. You know? So
Wow.
so I have to go from here to here. right? You
Did
know,
that affect your career?
yes, yes, it did. It affected me as a person. Like I'm telling you, I had to go from here to here. It's a 10-minute walk. You know how I used to go? I used to walk 35 minutes in the
Oh
wrong
my.
direction because everybody saw me getting beaten up in that lane. Even now, even now when I go to Dubai, when I when I drive in my car in that lane, wallahi, I feel like
You
it
get
comes.
anxious.
It's so clear. Now, I cannot blame my dad because no parent would do that to your child. But he just thought that this is the way because his father probably dealt with him that way. So my thing is that as a boy, I don't know if it happens with girls as well, but I think a lot of boys get beaten up a lot growing up. I don't think
Well,
a lot of,
I was beaten up a lot,
it's the
more
worst,
than
man.
my brother. More
It's
than
the
my brother.
worst. I feel so sad for you, but it's the worst. It's the worst.
Look at me now. I'm in my best places.
Yeah,
So,
of course, of course.
but
But to bring it back to the point, whether you're a man or a woman, and in this case a man, therapy will, yalla, you want to solve your old problems? No problem. Please go solve all your problems by yourself with your ego. Please do. Go to a therapist and find out what is the problem.
what is the problem? 100%.
Khalas, do that.
Please, man, take notes. Please, please, please. So, Sumier is asking you a question.
Oh, Sumer, very, very dear friend of mine, very famous guy from India as
Okay.
well. He does an
Oh,
amazing kind
hi.
of, very deep guy
Too
as
many
well.
people on the session today.
Yes, Sumer, I think he wants to ask you something,
Yeah, he wants
or me, I don't know. Your
no.
dad's deeds affected you. Yes, I think Sumer, anything at that age affects you because your mind is not built, you know, you're still growing. One second. But at times, people or kids become disciplined. We all come from a generation where we were beaten up. It's right. Absolutely. It's absolutely right. But what I'm trying to say is that get to know your child. Get to know your child. Does he need to be beaten up? That is my question. Does the child tell me what is more effective? Okay. If like I'll give you a small example. It's a cute joke that I still make with my mom that I am lactose intolerant. Okay, I'm lactose intolerant. My mother, if I call her now, if I call her now, when she hangs up with me, she will tell me you're looking weak. Drink some milk and sleep. I'm 41 years old. So she's also doing it out of habit. She knows I'm lactose intolerant. I cannot have milk. But she still tells you that you're looking weak, have milk. Drink milk and sleep. So your parents also do it out of habit. You know, beating up, see, first of all, physically disciplining your child is correct. Okay. But some children, of course, are very, very difficult to deal with. I've seen children hit their parents. Like it's, wallahi, I've seen it in Dubai, in Spinneys. This child, he was just beating his mother. And the mother was very quiet, uh, you know. But you just need to understand that does your child need a slap or eyes will do? You know, there are, tell me something. So there are certain parents who have never hit their child. You know, I'm sure you must be meeting people who tell you that, oh, my father never hit me.
My
Uh,
father never hit me. Just one slap.
yeah, that's what I'm
My
saying.
mom used to be the teacher. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So were you are you don't you understand discipline right now?
of course.
You do. So I'm just saying that it's from case to case.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, it depends on. I think the problem is, we are in this world now where everybody is running so fast. You know, we are trying, like the parents are trying to work hard to do things. People don't spend too much time understanding their child.
Or communication. So it's,
Yeah,
yes, I totally agree. It's communication and understanding.
like we come from a world now where even now men are embarrassed to buy condoms because
Men,
yeah, men, they're embarrassed to go buy a condom, and men, not boys, men also, because the communication didn't happen. Communication is very important, and the problem is we don't have much with the older generation. It used to be yalla do this or khalas. you
yeah,
know
true.
if you're zero in mathematics means khalas, you're dumb.
Me,
Me too.
zero. Math, zero. So your friend Sumier is saying, blame it on the phone and social media communication has reduced.
Yes, of course,
Amber,
of course.
my parents never hit me, but their eyes would discipline me that one look.
Perfect.
So for me, I would rather have a combination. Now it's another topic, but it's also related to mental health. But I
Yes.
would rather have a combination between old way of raising children and the modern way. So, like this pandemic, Nathan, I've done a lot of sessions with parents, and they've said that the pandemic has improved the relationship with the
Yes.
kids because
Yes.
they're
Yes.
spending more time with each other, that they can know the habits, the thoughts, the emotions. What do they like? What do they don't like? They're doing activities together. They're having meals together. Come on, like meals in our time, in my time at least, it was a ritual. It was something normal, something we
Yes.
look forward to. Like I knew that lunch and dinner is family time. Now this generation, they do not know what family time is
It's very
unless,
difficult.
like you said, it's on social media now. So it has its benefits, it has its negatives. But for me, like now, I would really appreciate if discipline did not be associated with fear. Like
Yes.
you can
Correct.
create discipline in the
Without
house
fear.
without the fear. We could do games, we could do activities, we could do. It's also okay. Like, why do we go to college, universities, and schools
Yeah.
to get a degree, but we
Yeah.
don't get that education when it comes to relationships, when it comes to our mental health, when it comes to things that are related to our daily life? So
Yeah. Yeah.
this is
Absolutely.
something, this is
The
why I
fear.
really want to raise as much awareness on that. And I
Yes.
want
I
men,
think
when you feel weak, when you feel alone, when you feel there's something wrong with you,
reach
do
out.
not ignore it. Do not ignore it. Do not go and have a bottle of wine and wake up the next day with a
Exactly.
headache and then repeat that pattern again, become an
Yeah.
alcoholic. No,
Yeah.
go have a drink with a friend and tell him, I'm not feeling okay, and then
Yes.
take it from
Yes.
there.
Yes. Cry. You won't believe. I used to have this ritual. I think I told you also. I used to have a crying ritual with my friends. You know what we
I
used to
love
do?
that.
You know what we used to do? Four of us. I will not take their names because they will get very upset. We used to come home, and of course we all drink whiskey. So normally it's easier when you're a little drunk as a man. So we will not fight that. We used to have whiskey, and we used to just cry. Four men, four grown-up men,
You
just
include
crying.
me in that too.
I am telling you, it is the best. Crying, as I call it, is the sweating of the soul.
It is. It is
It's
cleansing
the
your soul.
sweat of the soul. There's a reason why we have tear glands in our eyes. There's a small hole here. There's a hole. Can you imagine how the man is made? There's a hole in your eye. Normally, why should there be a hole in the eye? There's actually a hole, a duct, which is only for tears.
I know. I know.
So obviously, uh, I'm not saying that you should drink and went out, but i'm just
Yeah, I
saying
know.
i'm just saying that it just made it easier because those guys were they're very manly men, you know
Very ten.
yeah, it's okay, kick me in my balls, it will not hurt me. But we used to discuss things. But what started happening was that once they did that, then we were able to do it without alcohol. You know,
Brilliant. It
The-
became something in your
so
system.
so what we did is we trick our mind to thinking it's a party, and you can do that. If there's alcohol, there is good time, there's a party. So you trick your mind to think it's a party, and then the real shit happens. Then you start crying. Then you start like emoting. You start remembering things. Like one of the sessions, the guy was sitting there, and you know what? We were of course crying, and we were feeling better, and crying like from wallah, like this, crying.
Oh.
And he just got up and he says, "Fuck, I got it." And we're like, "What happened?" He's like, "I got it." He got something. And then he was telling me, "I understand why this happened, why this girl did this to me. Fuck, I got it." He just got it. And he's like, "Now my life is changed." Because he had a bad relationship with somebody and the girl cheated on him and something of that sort. He didn't tell us clearly, but he got it. He was like, like imagine like he got up like a child. Like I won a lottery. And he won an emotional lottery that night.
I love emotional lottery. Can I use that?
Yes, of course. It's yours.
I love
Of course.
Samir is saying you do not need to drink to vent out. Yes, but sometimes a drink or two would help the muscles to relax and for your mind to feel safe that now I could talk, not be looked at. As Nitin said, it became like a relaxation activity where then they are able now to cry and vent without having to drink. So it was just that small push and motivation. Of course, we are not encouraging excessive
No, please
drink.
don't. No, we're not encouraging that. And I think there is a survey. There's a survey that specifies, and all the men will agree with me here. There's a survey that specifies that almost 60%, right? 60% of men get emotional after drinking.
Wow.
That's a big
That's
percent.
a huge number, huh?
That's a very huge number. That's a very huge number. And I'm not talking about emotional. I'm talking about crying and howling like a newborn baby.
Because of all the pressure, because of all the bottled up emotions, of course.
I did a session with a guy in Dubai recently. I had a guy crying so much. My entire shirt was wet. And the way he held me, if he pressed any more, I would die. But he held on to me like I was life, like I was oxygen. And he was digging, like I was like, oh my God. And I cannot tell you, it was so crazy. It was like I could feel what he was going through. I was like, oh my God, how am I able to feel so much? And I just, I held him. And the more I held, how children hold you?
I know.
Like the first day of school, like how this man held me like this. And it was the most amazing experience of my life. I can't even tell you what I felt. And that man is still in touch with me. He's a grown-up man.
How is he doing right now?
Sorry?
How is he doing?
He has been going for therapy regularly.
Okay, good.
And he stopped drinking. I'm not saying it happened because of me, but I'm just saying I was chosen to be at that moment, at that time, to receive and give. I received much more. But it was so, it's like, it was a tsunami. It was literally a tsunami of emotions. Like this guy had not cried in 20 years. He just went, and the thing is, it's like, I didn't even hug him. I held him. And
because sometimes, that's the point, Nathan, is that men are so bottled up inside that even when you poke them, they just need one poke, and that poke could just, create an explosion. So this is what I'm trying to say, is that please do not let yourself to reach that point, because it really affects your heart, guys, and it increases the heart attacks, it increases suicide attempts, it increases migraines, it increases suicide thoughts if you did not reach the
Yeah.
point of suicide, which please God forbids. And it will affect you internally and externally so bad that the damage might not be healed for a long time.
Yes.
So it's really crucial that the way you take care of your families, which is something we are really appreciating that you are doing this. The way you take care of your families, your jobs, your bills, whatever, do that for yourself as well.
Correct.
So it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel that you're not feeling well. If you do not want to publicize it or to speak of it publicly, at least have a small support system. Like Nitin, it
Yes.
was your wife, right?
Sorry.
For you, it was your wife.
Yes. Yes. It was actually my wife, which I decided that I could not find the power inside me to do it, to go to a therapist. One of my very dear friends, Akash Mehta, is also a comedian. He told me, he's like, man, you're depressed. And you know what is the first thing I said? You're crazy, man. Forget it. He's like, you know how I know? Because I suffer from depression. He said, you're depressed. And you know, believe me, the minute he said that, a lot of things made sense. I was like, oh, that's why I'm behaving like this. Because otherwise, without knowing it, you you're just like, why am I feeling all this? You know, why it's not normal to feel all this. But once you realize that, okay, you might be suffering from anxiety disorder or depression, a lot of things make sense. So
Mm.
just go there. You know what? Go to a therapist and come back and say, Nitin, fuck you, you were wrong, I'm not depressed. Believe me,
That's not.
I will be the happiest.
I know.
I will be
So,
the
what are the
happiest.
little activities that you do now after you have recovered from your depression? What do you do to maintain that?
So I always say that knowing
Back to it.
so I always say that knowing your weakness is your biggest strength.
That's nice. Yeah.
Okay. So there are certain things when people suffer from depression, there are certain things when people suffer from anxiety, there are certain things that trigger you. Understand yourself, understand your triggers. Do not be brave. Do not